Jasmine. I blog over at runjasminerun.blogspot.com, and I am doing this video as an introduction, just to give you guys a little bit of backstory about my friend Edgar, who is the People Who Inspire interviewee for the month of September. So I am really excited about this interview. Edgar is definitely one of my best friends, and we talk to each other, like, I want to say almost every day. I don't know, like maybe 1 to 3 times a week, and it's usually running related, talking about training, because he is also trained by a run coach, so we kind of like compare and contrast our training and like what our coaches are giving to us about the crazy workouts that we're doing and whatnot. But I'm not really sure exactly how we met each other. I want to say it might have been out of the curiosity of seeing him at a social run, and him and his brother were there, and there was like a bungee tether cord that was around his wrist and his brother's wrist, and I want to say it was, yeah, I was out of curiosity, and I was just maybe went up to him, or maybe found out from somebody else at that social run that he was blind and his brother was there to help guide him for the run. And I found that like absolutely fascinating and super cool. Like, I've never met a blind runner before, and it was just really cool to know that people don't allow a situation or an issue that arises in their life, you know, stop them from doing what they want to do. So ever since that, we've been good friends. His family and my family are just, they mesh very well, so it's been cool to consider his family like a second family in Florida. His parents are so nice, his brother is super nice too. And I just wanted to share this story. I know Edgar is going to watch this video and be like, damn it. But I wanted to share one of my favorite memories guiding Edgar. One of many. There's a lot, but I picked this one because I feel like we both were in survivor mode at this run, and he made it a very fun and enjoyable experience for me because I was super nervous guiding him, which I didn't even like fully tell him until after the race. But we did the Gasparilla half marathon together. I guided him, and first off, the weather that year wasn't the best weather for a half marathon. It was really muggy, and you know, running in Florida in general, they don't get the best of the best racing weather, not like we do here in the Midwest, but nonetheless, from the start, his fireball personality came out. We were trying to get to the front of the race start because it's not really the safest environment to be stuck in the middle of a big, you know, mess of people who are all just taking off and running. I was very fearful of us falling and people stampeding on us, so we were like, we got to get to the front, get into a safe area. And he just, blind man coming through, plowing through the crowd, watch out, blind man coming through, blind man coming through, and I kid you not, it just, the crowd opened like the Red Sea, and we were just able to get to the front of the line. So yeah, that was really funny. He just has such a great sense of humor when it comes to being blind, and I think that is a very admirable, you know, aspect that he has that I definitely look up to. Anyway, we're at the start line, and he has his little Vaseline jar, and he goes to put Vaseline on his nipples because, you know, guys, friction, bloody nipples, nobody wants that. So he goes ahead and like puts it on his nipples, and he takes the lid and throws it off to the side. But in the midst of throwing it, this lid legitimately bitch slaps me across the face and then falls off to the side. And, you know, me forgetting Edgar is blind, I look at him like, really, Edgar? Did you really just do that to me? Just let some lid bitch slap me before a race? Gave him one of those looks like, oh my God. And of course he can't see me, so I just looked at him and said, okay buddy, your lid just bitch slapped me across the face before, you know, falling to the ground to the side. And we both laughed about it and continued on with the race. So there was a part of the race where the road gets very narrow, and I was like super nervous at that point because people were just, I think it was like maybe halfway into the marathon, so people are probably like sitting into that pace like, all right, halfway in, let's get it done, you know, and they're just flying past us. So I took the tether that was around his wrist and I just pulled it really close to me, and we were literally like this, okay, like arm in arm, like here's Edgar's arm, here's mine, and we're running like this together, okay? Poor guy, he probably was so uncomfortable, like the friction of our skin, like running like this, because I just really didn't want us to fall. I didn't want him to fall. I didn't want somebody to smack into him. So that was another interesting part of that race. Another one is they had at one point of the race, sorry about that, had to refocus, a big like stadium lights that were just directly in front of us, like blinding bright light. I looked at Edgar, I go, okay buddy, this is like the blind leading the blind, because I cannot see the road at all. So we're just gonna, you're gonna have to give me some tips on how you run, because I can't see right now. I was petrified. I'm like, we're gonna fall, we are gonna fall. But luckily we didn't fall. We made it through the blinding lights and we kept running. And then towards the end of the marathon, oh no, before that, this guy, this is why we always jokingly say he is not blind. He takes some water and he literally throws it. And he throws the Dixie cup, makes it into the garbage can. I look at him and say, you are not blind, you do not need me here, because you just made a freaking Dixie cup go into a garbage can. What the heck? That was pretty awesome. All right, so anyway, we're getting towards the end of the half marathon, and at every mile they have like a DJ or somebody singing or a band, and this one guy was DJing and he had the song I Will Survive playing in the background, and all of a sudden Edgar's grooving, doing his little thing that he does with me holding onto the tether like, what are you doing? And he goes, blind man will survive, blind man will survive, just singing that super loud. So I remember he was, he had like a calf cramp or a glute cramp at that point, so he was just making it through, you know, making sure he could survive and dance and just trying to make the best out of a not so great situation, having a little bit of cramps. So in that moment, I realized that he just has an amazing personality. He's able to overcome so much. He is suffering right now in this half marathon, but he's making the best out of a bad situation. And he also made a lot of runners, because you know at the end of a half marathon, not everybody is like, this is so awesome. Everybody's like, why did I sign up for this again? Because that's what everybody looked like around us. They were smiling, laughing, and giving him a thumbs up, and I'm like over here like, he's blind, he's blind. They're giving you thumbs up. Just letting you know, because you can't see. All right, anyway. So after that, we get to the end. We get to the finish line, and part of the rules, I don't remember exactly, and Edgar, if you're watching this, you can quote me on this. I don't really remember the exact rules of guiding a visually impaired person, but you have to let go of the tether, from my understanding, at the finish. So I let go of the tether and did not look at where he was going to be running. There was a lady keeled over, looked like she had the worst race of her life, just like, oh my God, why did I sign up for this? And I had to chase after Edgar, pull his shirt back before he plowed into her. And I looked at her, I'm like, I'm so sorry, my friend is blind, I am a horrible guide. But she understood, she's like, I don't know what that meant. Maybe like I need some water or give me to a med tent. I'm not sure. But that was my favorite race experience with Edgar. And Edgar, if you're watching, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, friend. But anyways, I'm so excited for you all to read this interview. Again, like I said, this is a person that like I have known for a really long time, and everything that he does is just so amazing to me. Currently, this is how crazy this guy is. He is currently training for his first ever century ride. What? I know, mind-blowing. And I can't wait to find out how that goes, and maybe I'll be able to get like an update for you guys on how his ride went. But anyways, thank you again so much, Edgar, for allowing me to pick your brain and ask you these questions. And thank you guys for watching this interview and getting to know a little bit of Edgar's personality with his can-do attitude, make things fun, make things, you know, the best that you can in certain situations. So, without further ado, if you look below, the interview's right there. And yeah, thanks again, guys.